Your mama's so short. She's a plump spoon burrito. Insanity.
Ma?
Yo mama jokes like yo mama.